Welcome to Startups. I'm your host, Aidan Spark. Today on Startups, imagine building a global empire on the promise of dignity and respect, only to face accusations of betraying those very values. Today, we explore how Howard Schultz's relentless pursuit of a passionate purpose led to a shocking paradox, and ask, can even the most visionary leaders lose sight of their own ideals? A question you'll need to confront in your own journey. Steam rises from an abandoned espresso machine in a shuttered Starbucks store. Howard Schultz stands alone, holding a crumpled green apron in his hands. The man who transformed how the world drinks coffee now faces his greatest paradox. How did someone who built an empire on employee welfare end up fighting against the very workers he vowed to protect? You know that feeling when your circumstances seem to define your future. In Brooklyn's public housing during the 1950s, young Howard Schultz lived this reality daily. The concrete walls of the projects echoed with the sounds of countless other families struggling to make ends meet. But one moment would forever change his trajectory. Howard was just 7 when his father, a delivery driver, slipped on ice during a routine delivery. The injury cost him his job. No workers' compensation, no health insurance, no safety net. The Schultz family plunged deeper into poverty, forcing Howard's mother to work multiple jobs just to keep food on the table. You might recognize this feeling when someone's worth is reduced to their economic value. This moment planted a seed in Howard's mind. There had to be a better way to treat workers. Fast forward to 1983. Howard, now director of marketing at Starbucks, then just a small coffee bean retailer in Seattle, visits Milan. The sensory assault is immediate. The rich aroma of freshly ground espresso fills the air. Baristas call out to customers by name. People gather, laugh, connect. This isn't just coffee service, it's theater, community, belonging. Standing in that Milanese cafe, Howard experiences what you might call a clarity. Your life's purpose suddenly crystallizes. He sees beyond the coffee. He envisions creating not just shops but sanctuaries, places where dignity, community, and quality intersect. Back in Seattle, Howard presents his vision to Starbucks owners. We should serve espresso drinks, create an Italian cafe culture in America, he insists. Their response, a firm no. They want to stick to selling coffee beans. Sometimes, the hardest part of having a vision is facing those who can't see it. You've probably been there, that crossroads where playing it safe feels suffocating. Howard chooses the uncertain path. He leaves Starbucks to start his own company, Il Giorno. Every detail must be perfect. The hand-pulled espresso shots, the precisely steamed milk, the welcoming atmosphere. But more importantly, he implements what he calls conscious capitalism, providing health insurance to part-time workers, stock options for all employees. When Starbucks goes up for sale in 1987, Howard seizes his chance. He raises $3.8 million to buy the company. Walking into the Starbucks headquarters as owner, he sees not just coffee shops, but vehicles for social change. Each new store opening isn't merely expansion. It's an opportunity to create jobs with dignity, to build communities, to right the wrongs he witnessed in his childhood. Under Howard's leadership, Starbucks explodes from 11 stores to over 30,000 worldwide. Each location designed to be what he calls a third place, Not home, not work, but a sanctuary in between. The green mermaid logo becomes more than a brand. It represents a promise of consistency, quality, and community. You might think this is where the story turns triumphant, but success at this scale creates its own gravity. The bigger Starbucks grows, the harder it becomes to maintain that original vision of personal connection and employee dignity. If you're enjoying Startups, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, Become an Innovation Engine. Steal exact frameworks of billion-dollar breakthroughs like Netflix and Tesla. Now, back to the episode. 2008 hits like a shot of espresso gone cold. The financial crisis ravages retail. Starbucks stocks plummet. Howard, who had stepped away as CEO, returns to find his company losing its soul. The coffee quality has declined. The personal touch is fading. The very culture he built is eroding. He makes a dramatic decision: close 7,100 US stores simultaneously for retraining. Wall Street analysts call it corporate suicide. Yet here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. The very values that built Starbucks, employee welfare, dignity, community, begin to clash with corporate reality. As workers push for unionization in the 2020s, Howard finds himself on the opposite side of the very principles he once championed. In town halls, his frustration becomes visible. The man who once provided unprecedented benefits to part-time workers now argues against union formation. The disconnect is stark. You can see it in his face, the internal struggle between maintaining control and living up to his original ideals. Today, standing in that empty store, Howard Schultz's legacy is as complex as a perfectly layered latte. He transformed how the world drinks coffee, created hundreds of thousands of jobs, and pioneered employee benefits that other companies would later emulate. Yet his story ends with a question that challenges every leader. What happens when the very success you achieve threatens the values that got you there? This isn't just about coffee. It's about you and the choices you'll face as you build your own dreams. Howard's journey teaches us that success isn't just about reaching your goals. It's about staying true to your principles when those goals are achieved. So here's your challenge. As you pursue your ambitions, regularly ask yourself, am I still serving my original purpose, or has success begun to serve itself? It's not enough to simply create something great. The real test is maintaining your values when they become inconvenient to your success. The steam from that lone espresso machine has now dissipated. Howard places the green apron back on the counter. His story reminds us that true leadership isn't about never failing your principles. It's about having the courage to acknowledge when you have, and the wisdom to learn from it. The question isn't whether you'll face similar tests of principle versus profit. The question is, how will you respond when that moment arrives? Will you remember the lessons from your own projects, or will you let success rewrite your story? Because in the end, your legacy, like Howard's, will be measured not just by what you built, but by how well you maintain the values that inspired you to build it in the first place. On the next episode of Startups, Howard Schultz relentlessly pursued his vision, transforming a simple coffee bean shop into a global phenomenon. But what happens when vision meets technology, and the playing field isn't a coffee shop, but the operating room? Imagine a world where geography doesn't limit access to the best surgical expertise. This week we are exploring visionary leadership, and our next leader embodies that, daring to bridge divides and democratize healthcare. What if I told you that augmented reality could revolutionize surgery, connecting surgeons across the globe in real time? Get ready to witness the story of someone who is using technology to level the playing field, driven by a deeply personal mission to heal the world. You won't want to miss it. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course. Become an innovation engine. 7 days, $7 billion frameworks. Transform from idea person to startup innovator by learning the exact playbooks that built Netflix, Tesla, and SpaceX. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/su. Thanks for watching.